C'est un joli dimanche au parc d'attractions. Les enfants grands renversent.
Hello, my name is Malin. I'm also known as Miss Kitten Heart all over the internet and social media, and hence Miss Kitten Heart Creates. This is my newest creative project. The goal is to make a homemade wardrobe with only exception for thrifted and vintage clothes or gifted clothes. And this project is threefold. First of all is that my material will also be thrifted or gifted or swapped. And second is that the goal, as I said, is to have an entirely homemade wardrobe by the end of this. And third is, since I'm doing a gastric bypass soon, I hope, I'm making clothes in smaller sizes because I won't be this big for very long, hopefully. So yeah, this is my first time podcasting or vlogging. On my other channel I have done videos, but this is the first time just sitting and talking and showing, and we'll just see how it goes. I have always turned to the internet for inspiration, or at least for 10-15 years. First blogs and then YouTube, and just recently I discovered podcasts, and I'm falling in love with the format, and actually so far I've stuck to the crafting community, sewing and knitting and making clothes, and I must say they really inspired me, and that is why I'm sitting here doing my own podcast for the very first time, and hopefully it won't be the last. So I have 2-3 favorites so far. The first one I watched, and it is fantastic. It's the Swedish California podcast, and it's like the TV show I wish existed, but it doesn't, and I really recommend it. So I love Handmade and Woolen. I've just been watching all of her episodes in a row, and I love them. I love her aesthetics and her color choices. Also inside number 23, I have to admit it was the 40s look of her that made me check out her podcast, and it was the content of her podcast that made me stay. The content and her personality. So I love that one. I also watch Yarn Gasm, and that definitely doesn't make me want to dye yarn any less or make stuff. She is really talented, both dyeing yarn and creating patterns, and I'm green with envy. And I have also been watching some sewing channels like Sew Over It. I don't have anything written, don't have a script. I am surrounded by material and things I've done and created, and in the middle of creating, and a couple of thrifted finds. So I thought I'd just start picking up the stuff and showing you, and we'll see how it goes. I start with the smallest ones. They are here on the table. I have made some jewelry. I love this charm bracelet. It is made from a necklace and lots of charms. Some are from old necklaces, some are from some are just charms that I bought or I have been gifted, and yeah, I really love it. This is one of my favorites. It's a tiny poodle, and I have a poodle, black poodle girl called Alice, and she might show up. I don't know. I think she's asleep upstairs. I have another charm bracelet. This is my Hello Kitty Kawaii charm bracelet. And it jingles and I love it. It's so much fun. I am very much middle-aged, but jingling Hello Kitty, what's not to love? And these are a pair of earrings. They used to be stitch markers, I think. That's what I made them as years and years ago. And I just found them recently and I thought they would be a lot of fun as earrings. Another little earring is this little tiny bead. And if you look very close, it does look like a vagina, and I love that. I'm very much a feminist, and I do think that the women and the female parts should be talked about openly and not be ashamed of, as well as sizes. I'm very size positive, even though I am doing the surgery. Actually, I rather like myself this size, but yeah, the knees and the joints and getting older, I need to lose weight. Here's another necklace, and this is thrifted. It's a pewter necklace. It's a Sami design, I'd say from the 70s, maybe 60s, 70s, and it has runes of their gods all over, and I am part Sami, so I really love finding things like this.
C'est un joli dimanche au parc d'attractions. Les enfants grands renversent leur popcorn. Oh bébé, regarde, y a des drapeaux, des ballons qui claquent dans le vent par milliers, par millions. C'est un joli dimanche au parc d'attractions. Les enfants grands ricanent.
This is another thrift find. I live in northern Sweden. The winters are long and the winters are cold, and keeping your feet warm is sometimes not the easiest thing in the world. So finding these warm boots made from real leather with a point, so this is a very classic Scandinavian model. This was a find. They cost about $300-400 new, and I got these and some fabric and a book and a jumper for maybe $12-13. So great find. So yeah, behind me is another find. I bought 2 plastic bags of zippers and some thread, and this is 50, 60, 70 zippers maybe, and they were a bit curly, so I thought, why not block the zippers? You can block knitting, why not block zippers? So they are just hanging around waiting to be dry and straight. Some other, looks like we are going over to my stash. These are some of my favorite things. Buttons. I love buttons. And I have quite a bit of a collection. They are mostly from my grandmother. Some are thrifted, but yeah, I got boxes of buttons from my grandmother. So these are some of my favorites today. These red ones are gorgeous. I thought I'd add closer photos of the buttons. It's hard to show you those tiny little things just sitting here. These I bought, they were about 10, 12, 15 for 50 cents. It was a bargain, truly a bargain. And here are a couple of my other favorites. I only have 2 of these, so huge mother of pearl buttons. I'm not sure what to make of them, but I'm sure I will find something.
C'est un joli dimanche au parc d'attractions. Les enfants grands renversent leur popcorn. Oh bébé, regarde, il y a des drapeaux, des ballons qui claquent dans le vent.
I have a pile of fabric. Some were thrifted a long time ago, years ago, and some pretty recent. And I have I have more fabric in my stash, but I have gathered the ones that are wardrobe friendly. So this I love. I'm thinking maybe turning it into a romper or something. This is also beautiful fabric, black with red pattern. This I just recently bought, and it's not much of it, it's just a few little pieces. I'm thinking, I don't know, I don't think it's enough for a dress, but it would be a fun summer dress. And this is with violets. And I mostly wear dresses and cardigans. This is one of my finds. It was a gift from a friend who was getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and I said thank you. I got this and 2 more dresses, and the buttons kept popping out, so I changed into bigger buttons. So yes, I wear dresses, but I'm finding lots of cute little blouses and tops, and I'm falling in love with culottes, and I haven't worn trousers in years, but I'm thinking maybe I will do some trousers as well. I actually have nothing lying over here, you'll see. This is, actually I don't know what to do with this, but I could not see what it says. It's a Designers Guild. It's a decent size, and it was $5. It was nothing, so I couldn't leave it. And yeah, it's mostly I fall for blues and purples and greens, so I'll see what I can do with that brown. This is a fabric that is perfect color wise, and it would be great as a dress with a fuller skirt, but I don't know if there is enough. Maybe I just make a skirt out of it. This is a nice burgundy wool fabric, and it's only 1 meter on 150 centimeters width, and I would love to make a winter jacket, but it's not enough fabric. So I hope to find something similar, so I can or something to go with it, because yeah, I have this and it would be great as a lining, and it's really soft. It's like flannel soft, so it would be fantastic in the winter, which is when you would have a lined jacket. Do I have more? Yes, here I have more stash right in front of me. I brought out some yarn too. I have lots more yarn, but these are a few of my recent favorites. They are thin wool and they are pretty scratchy, but the colors are gorgeous, and I plan to make something Fair Isle, a sweater or a cardigan or something Fair Isle, because the colors together are divine. This wonky skein of yarn is one of the things I am doing now. I have lots of knitted items laying around, and many of them I never use, because how many pairs of mittens can you have? How many scarves? How many socks? Well, yeah, socks you can have lots of, very many pairs of socks. So I thought I would frog those things that I never use, and I would use the yarn. Garn is yarn in Swedish. I would make something else with them, and this is an alpaca yarn. It's browns and blue and a little bit of green, and it's wonderful, and it's not a lot of it, maybe 100 grams I think, but it is beautiful, and I look forward to using it in a project as a detail or something. This is also one of those things. It is a shawl made from a wool blend, and it has sequins in the yarn, so it's a really pretty yarn with the pinks and purples and greens, but I never use it, so I will rip this also and use it for something else, because sequin yarn really should be worn. And this is yet another thing I'm doing. I have socks that don't fit that great. I have managed to make them too big, so now I am remaking those socks, and this is one pair. They are made from Swedish rag socks yarn in medium thickness, and I made these were bigger before, and I remade them. Also, they were just vanilla before, and I made a pattern, a pearl pattern, so they are a little bit more fun. This is another one of those things that just was laying around and never used, and one reason is because it looked like this. I hadn't blocked it when I made it years ago, and I did that the other day. I blocked it, and look at this now. It is so pretty. It's just a very simple pattern. I can't remember if I did it after a pattern or if I just made it up as I went. But I wanted it to be a simple pattern because of the yarn. This is hand spun alpaca and wool, I think. And I got them in swaps about 10 years ago or so. So I am so happy I got this out. It fits so much better now. It actually has yarn ends I can tie, and it's so soft, and it's too warm to have on today because it's in the middle of the summer and it's really hot outside. Another thing I tried years and years and years ago is dyeing with Kool-Aid. I love hand-dyed yarn, and someday maybe I will try it for real. But back then I tried Kool-Aid dyeing and it was okay. I did a thin lace weight wool yarn, and I started knitting a scarf and I didn't like it, so I'm not even sure if I still have that yarn. But a few days ago I remembered that project, and I remembered that I have had 2 packets of Kool-Aid left. And I found a blog post telling me what to do. Last time I dyed it in the microwave. I don't have a microwave, so I needed to do it on the stovetop. And the instructions said 3 to 4 packets of Kool-Aid for 100 grams of yarn. I actually had 3 hanks of wool yarn in natural colors. 2 were grey and 1 were off-white beige. And I wanted to dye them all. So I got the packets of Kool-Aid, and then I thought acrylic paint always sticks to your clothes and doesn't wash off, so why not dye yarn with it? So I took some acrylic ink, 1 magenta and 1 cerulean blue, and I dropped the blue on the wet yarn and some of the magenta, and the rest of the magenta I poured in the dyeing pot. And the thought of dripping the blue on would be that it would be variegated in purple with the pink. And enough talk. Here is the result of my yarn project. You can see bits of purple. This one is more purple, and these are more pink. That was my Kool-Aid acrylic ink dyeing experiment, and I'll see what I will make of them. I have 1 knitting project to show you, and then it's some sewing. No, yeah, it's knitting too, but yeah, these are a couple of hand warmers or mitts I made for a friend. She wanted something in ocean colors and pink, and I had this beautiful sock yarn. I love the colors. And she likes skulls, so I made hot pink skulls. And I had just made these the Small Flowers Mitts by Piniguri and Lee-Side Knits, I think, Lee Miller. I think she's Lee-Side Knits on Instagram, and Piniguri. And I made these for the Small Flowers cow on California podcast. So when my friend asked for hand warmers, I thought of that pattern. So I changed it up a bit. I used thinner yarn, so I cast on more stitches, and I didn't do the yarn over pattern, and yeah, I did the skulls instead of the flowers, and I loved the result. I loved it so much I had to make a pair for me, but with green skulls. And I did a different rib on this. This is a 2 knit 2 purl, and this is 3 knit 1 purl. So I call them my Small Skulls mitts, and I'm loving them. As for sewing and altering and making and finished things, this is just in the beginning of the altering stage, and the fabric is turned inside out, so you can't really see it. This was a skirt with a duck pattern. I thrifted it for maybe 50 cents. And as I said, I'm in love with culottes at the moment. Short ones and long ones. As long as the wide legs, I love it. And I thought this skirt, it was a pleated wide skirt with pockets. I love pockets. I thought I would turn them into culottes. So I have just cut legs out of the skirt, and I have left a lot of space for my butt. And since I won't be able to wear them for months and months, I have no idea if this works. It's just, it looks okay. I hope it works. I hope the biggest problem will be fitting in the bum crotch area. And as I said, I left plenty of room. One thing that I actually can use, which it was also thrifted at the same time for 50 cents. It was a cold day, and I was wearing a dress and bare legs, short sleeves, and I was freezing. So I hope to find a cardigan or a sweater or something to put on, and I have found this. It is a huge poncho. It's really thick with a V-neck, with buttons on the side. But the thing was, since it was open on the side with only the buttons, the wind was blowing right through it, and it was so cold. And when I was out with my dog early in the morning or late at night, and I tried to warm my hands and put them under, it doesn't help. So I put in pockets. I just sewed very simple pockets and put them between the buttons and edge them. The fabric is vintage fabric, gifted from a friend, and I love this now. And it's, as I said, it's huge. It fits me great now, but it will fit later as well, because it is one size, and for once this is one size fits all. I can drown in it when I'm smaller, and I can wear it very comfortably at the moment too as well. So this was a great find for 50 cents, and for an hour of work, an hour, maybe 2 hours, I was hand stitching the line and the edging. It was a great find, and the extra work, I wish it was colder so I could wear it more often. And the color is so not me, but I don't care. This is an old remake. This is just a bit too small. I need to lose maybe 10-15 kilos to be able to wear this. But this is a dress made out of 3 men's shirts, and I cut apart and sewed together and made this dress. And I don't know if I have ever spent as much time fiddling on seams and fit, and it fit perfect when I made it. I was so fussy, and it did show. It fit like a glove, and now it's too small, but one day I will be able to wear this again. This is a new project. It's a simple simple skirt with pockets, because I want pockets in everything, and simple elastic waistband, and a nice nice blue floral pattern. And you might see a pattern all over. Blue is very reoccurring in this, for example. This is the shortest skirt you could ever imagine, because I ran out of fabric. I thought completely wrong when I cut the fabric for this skirt. It's a vintage fabric by a Finnish company. So I probably won't find anything the same. So I'm looking for something to look. I'm looking for something that will look nice together with it. It is a circle skirt, a wrap circle skirt, and there are ties. They are a bit too short, so the plan is to make it longer and make the ties longer with another fabric. And there are pockets, as you can see, as well. And yeah, the upper part is all finished. It just needs some length. This is another almost finished project. I cut it out free-handed and the neckline turned out too big, so I made it smaller here with a couple of buttons, which made the keyhole opening a little smaller, and I made a box pleat and I put some buttons, and I'm thinking maybe I need more buttons along the way, and it actually fits me now, but I plan to wear it oversized, so I won't wear it now. I will stash it away. I have some of this bias tape I made. I don't know if it is enough for the sleeves and the hem, or if I will just fold it and sew it. It's one of those things that you need to think about for a while. More buttons, just a hem, I guess. You just have to wait and see. I will have to wait and see. And I'm looking around. This is actually the last project of them all here. This is a jumper that I knit earlier this spring. The yarn is thrifted. It's a cotton acrylic blend from the 80s, I think. It's a bit knobbly. And I got it. I didn't get it at the same time, but I got so lucky that the colors work great together. And another lucky thing is this gorgeous color detail. It was on a shirt, a top that I had maybe 10 years ago, a long time ago, and when it was time to get rid of it because it had lots of stains and stuff, and it was acrylic and it was nice to wear. I cut this part out thinking I would use it for something, because I love it. I love it how it's so over the top, and there is silver and glitter, and it looks fantastic on my jumper. And yes, it is a lot. It's very busy, but I like a lot. I like patterns and color, and more is more. So I'm just thinking, should I do a few stitches to keep it stretched in place, or I don't know. I will actually block it first, because I have to confess I haven't blocked it. Yeah. So I will block it first, and then I will see how it looks if it's stretched in place. And yeah, that was the last of what I have to show you for my very first podcast. I'm thinking this is kind of the format. It will hopefully get better and less disorganized. Maybe I will write myself a schedule and have reoccurring posts, like maybe button of the day, yarn of the day. I will show you when I make something and when I'm making something. I actually have a few whips that I haven't showed you. I'm knitting on a sweater I have done the body in the round, and I'm doing the first sleeve, and I'm actually saving that for next time. Also, I am doing a pair of socks, which I'm saving for next time as well. I have a couple of pieces of thrifted fabric hanging outside. They are very dry, so I should get them in. And tomorrow I am going into our nearest city, and I'm visiting my sister and my nephew, and I am going thrifting, hoping to find fabric for this skirt. It needs fabric, and hopefully I will find some wool fabric so I can make a jacket. Actually, I'm not in a hurry to make a jacket. It is only July and it won't get cold for quite some time, even here in Sweden. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for watching my rambling, and I know I was a bit of a mess. I hope that will get better. I don't know when I will be back next time, hopefully soon-ish. And I hope to see you then. Have a nice day.
C'est un joli dimanche au parc d'attractions. Les enfants grands renversent leur popcorn. Oh bébé, regarde, y a des drapeaux, des ballons qui claquent dans le vent par milliers, par millions.